support your creative and spiritual growth. And our goal is to do that by magnifying love and healing for you in your life. And I came to this, I'm a physical therapist assistant. I am an artist, and I have done art classes and commissioned art for, almost 30 years. And I came to this sort of by accident. Not sort of, by accident, for sure. I never set out to do anything even remotely connected to mediumship, but that turns out to be what I'm doing now. In addition to everything else, I still do physical therapy, I still do art classes, and I began to, Andrea and I joined forces to share the space downtown in winter of spring of 2013. And so I would be in charge of welcoming people to the space when she did her mediumship, and then I would take notes for people. And I began to realize that in the margins of my notes, I was drawing faces, and as you can see, they were upside down, and they continue to be upside down. Can you tell? Can you see? Yeah. And so I didn't really think too much of it. And then Andrea started saying, hey, I think that belongs to someone, in the way of, it's someone's dead person. I was like, I don't think so. That can't be true. And it evolved. And so then last year, let's see, it must have been winter, so like November of 2014, I had been already doing it for a while, and I went to see Nancy Smith, who is a wonderful medium, and she had a whole workshop on how she does it, and in a group of about 30 or 40 people, she drew my dad. And I was like, oh, gosh, that's a thing. And I realized after that, based on the feeling that I had from her sharing that with me, and how that made me feel, supported, connected, loved, that if I could do it, and it seemed like I could, that I should. Because it seemed like something that to not share with other people would be worse than sharing it. Does that make sense? It was hard to say, yeah, I draw dead people.
Upside down.
Not really, the typical small talk kind of conversation. So what we wanted to do for you today is give you a sense of how we work together. And so I am going to continue to draw. And how are we doing with the time? Because I can't see you.
8 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to continue to draw, and I'm going to invite Andrea and Amy to offer anything that's coming for them about who this might be, who it might belong to.
It's behind me.
Well, that's
obviously
easy.
No, it's not here. It's back here somewhere. It might be Denise's sister. Oh, well, here, you take that. We're trying to get this on video because she's so stinking cute, right?
So I do feel like it's a woman. I feel like it's a very gentle, calm person who may need a little extra encouragement to speak up and come through. And so interestingly, so one of the things that I want to share with you is I'm not seeing an image and trying to replicate it. I have no idea what I'm aiming for. I don't have a picture in my mind. I see a little bit of shadows on the paper, and that's kind of new, but I'm just sort of letting my pencil do the work and letting Spirit work through me and trying to pay attention and not let my head control it. So I'm trying not to edit. I'm trying just to let my pencil go and see what happens. And usually I get a little further along before I turn it right side up, but we wanted people to have a chance to see it for longer. So that's... So that's where that comes from. So I'm going to let people, while we work on that, anything, Andrea?
Well, I'm going to let you go a little bit further, but we have someone back here that thinks it's their mother.
Oh, okay.
She was very, almost immune. No?
So one of the things that happens is that the spirit that is providing me with the drawing image, yeah, it's, thank you, often is directing me to do it, to show them younger, prettier, or they're picking some attribute of themselves and emphasizing that. So it may be that you wouldn't say it's an exact photographic image, it's not intended to be, but instead it's about having a sense of, yes, that feels familiar to me. That is something that...
more far away than it does.
Well, yes, and you know what? If you look mostly the eyes and nose tend to be the closest to it, and then for whatever reason, the mouth and chin start to get a little foggy for me. So I'm not as, although sometimes I get a funny little quirk of a smile or something, and people say, "Oh, that's it. That's that."
Okay, so the energy I get from this is she was always giving life lessons. Not that she was stern, but there was always a life lesson. There was always information. And she aged well.
Yes,
Yes,
for sure.
Originally, I got you.
I don't feel like it's long hair. I feel like it's sort of wavy and...
Low battery.
So also keep in mind, typically the way it works in our space is Andrea and I will kind of talk in the room and give people messages.